Well, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today at the request of Teresa. I'm just going to make sure you guys can hear me and everything. Yeah. We're doing this one for you, but I think it's about time we talk about Bitcoin as well. I did make a very detailed video last night on it. We can see, let's see if I go to YouTube here. Go to my videos, maybe. If it'll load your videos. White screen, black screen, content, and loaded. Is this crypto cycle moving too fast? At the very end of this video, I did do a brief analysis on the short-term price expectations for Bitcoin, and I'd like to go over that kind of same thing now. I'm going to pause the music, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We are at $60,098, $96 right now. I did say yesterday that the level to watch was $60,480 to be specific. Roughly like right around that area. If we break that, then we are very likely, the odds of us going to 57K right now, I think we are going to go there. I personally do think we're going to go there, but by the chart's definition, or at least by the indicators that I use as definition, we are not yet likely. We are possibly going down there, but the likelihood increases and becomes like highly likely once we break this level. And to be fair, we haven't broken it yet. For all we know, today we could have some kind of major reversal. We could form some kind of like double bottom right down here. We did close right above the line. We have not closed below it. Sometimes Bitcoin will have a lower daily close, and that's when we move up. So today is the real test of, are we going to see that 57K or lower price target that I've been talking about for a while, or is it going to hold the line here and we're just going to basically consolidate in this range for who knows how long? I would expect that if we do bounce from here, Bitcoin will not break this high even by the end of May. Okay, I would expect that we're probably going to be range bound in this range if it bounces from here, for at least another month to 3 months. Probably at the earliest by the end of May is when I could see us potentially moving up and out of this, but I would genuinely expect sometime July, August, or even as late as September would be the time that we break out into new all-time highs. Until then, we're consolidating and or moving lower, and I do favor the idea of us moving lower. Just call it a gut feeling, call it what I see in the charts. We've moved up a lot, kind of unchecked. It would make sense to have a normal retracement. If we were looking at this relative low here to this relative high here from the last place that we had a phase of consolidation, then we moved up from that low there using the Fibonacci retracement tool. You can see that we've wrestled. One second. We've wrestled, I thought that was my baby, but it was my cat. We've wrestled with the 236 for a little bit now, and it does look like we're losing that area. The next level to go to would be the 382 area at 57,575. A little bit of repeating numbers there, which I've not noticed until just now. But that level, generally speaking, we do go a little bit below it. So seeing 57K or lower itself does become likely if we can get this week to close below the 236, and if we can get a day or two to close below that white line. That white line there is important because, is it this low? It might be this low. I think it's this low to this high. Yes. That is the given 886 right there. And I think I took it from the index chart instead of the Coinbase chart last night. So I had a different number, but essentially 6,400 is this level, 6,480 is the index chart. So maybe that's in reference to Binance or like a conglomerate of all the exchanges. I still don't know how this index chart is put together, but I mean, if we took it here, I would bet, let's see, low to high. Yeah, 480 right there, 6,480. Anyways, at any rate, within an $80 difference, something like that, if this white line breaks, it doesn't just get meandered by $80. Like, let's actually break it. If that breaks, that 886 level, likely we would see extensions of this overall move here. And you can see the extensions. If it looks confusing, just roll with it for a second, okay? You can see that these numbers are here, whereas these numbers are out here. They're different fib ranges in themselves, okay? These are extensions based off of this range, and they happen to line up with the retracements of a greater range. So when you see that, that tends to be a signal that you could see these prices. And if you do see these prices, you're likely to find significance around them. So I do think 57,000, 57,500 will provide solid support. However, again, I've said that it's very common when interacting with the 382 for the first time, which this would be the first time. I'm going to delete this. I'll bring it right back in a second, but this would be the first time we'd interact with the 382 after finding our high. The first time you interact with the 382, it's very common to go a little bit through it. So what's a little bit through it? That 56.6K level, and also coinciding with the 123 green moving average here. You can see this line moving up. As the days go on, will actually probably be right around that area. So there will be a lot of support. If we drop now, it'll be right around that 56.6K area. But if we continue, if it takes a few days or 4 days to get there, that 57.6K area will be a solid area for support. It is common to go a little bit below the 382, but we might not. We might tip it in itself. What also is common with finding support on the 382 is coming back up to the 236 and then rejecting and going lower. Okay, so I want to be clear. If we see a maneuver like this where maybe we go a little bit below the 382, maybe we bounce right off it, maybe we bounce right above it, whatever, but essentially bouncing off the 382 area and then move up to the 236, that's nothing to get excited about. A move from 57,000, 57,500 all the way up to 63.3 thousand. It might seem exhilarating while it's happening, but really it's just a lower high in this phase here. We would be touching back the 236 that we've wrestled with for so long, potentially providing it as, or finding it as resistance. And if we do that, it's a very common maneuver on our way down to the 61869 zone, which I personally don't expect we're going to see. I would accept it as a possible low that we could see. 47 to 49K is absolutely on the table, and no, that would not break the bull market at all. No, it wouldn't. I'll just quickly show that, but I've gone over this plenty of times. I'm not about to go over it now. This video has already gone on longer than I wanted it to, but let's just say we drew a line from the cycle low to this low here, and maybe if I delete this fib here. So that circle there is the 61869, the golden ratio zone of this move, this last move up that we just had. That would be above this little trend line that we have. So if we were to break 50K, the bull market is not over. It's fine. It's still a higher low and at a pretty conventional area to find a higher low. However, I do want to say I don't expect us to go that low. I think 53K to potentially 50K, these are lines, right? These are just lines. They're ideas, all these little fib retracement areas. You don't have to touch them precisely, okay? This is a nice idea, but it doesn't have to work exactly like this. So I don't think we would actually see 49K. Maybe 49K at the lowest would be my, tipping the 618. Bitcoin does like to do that. But 53K, anything in between here could be a potential low. 57K itself, or around there, 57 to 58K, could be the potential low as well. We don't know. It all depends on what we do after we bounce in this area. And I am expecting to find support in this area. I'm just not getting too excited about it, right? I'm not going to be excited about it when we're down here, assuming that we're going to go up, and I'm definitely not going to be excited about it right here. However, if we crush the 236, if we can get back above this high, I will definitely start to get excited. But that's neither here nor there, you guys. That's a ways away, right? And the only reason I'd be excited about that is that would determine that this is probably the lowest we're going to go. We found our low, we're not going to go lower. But that doesn't mean that we're ready to go up yet, because again, what I started saying in the beginning of this video is that I don't expect Bitcoin to move out of this bullish phase, this consolidation phase up here. I don't expect it to move higher than this for at least a month, if not several months from now. And I've gone over that a few times as well, but we can briefly go over that here on the index just to keep it simple, keep it fresh in our heads. For any new viewers, if you're a new viewer, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. If you're an old viewer, you guys know what to do. And I just mean old as in you've been here for a while. I don't mean old in age, though. If you're old in age, but you're young at heart, hit that like button as well, man. Anyways, November from 2012, that was the first Bitcoin halving, right? We moved sideways here. I'm sorry, I was going all the way up to the all-time high, but we moved sideways here. I got distracted for 1 month, and then we moved up. So it was 1 month after the halving. We were totally stagnant. We moved up 7.5% that whole month. That's what we closed at. And then the next month, the following month later, we moved up. So it took us 2 months essentially to move out. Or at least a month of consolidation. On the second month, that's when we moved up. July 2016 was the next halving right there. We moved sideways. We didn't break out of this range, right? And you can probably better see it if I blow it up here. Again, July 16th, it was July 9th, 2016 was the second halving. we moved sideways, technically even from this month before, but we moved sideways. We didn't break out for 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 5th month, that's when we broke out. And even then we checked back. So, but it took us 5 months. The first time 1 month, second time 5 months. If we go to May, the last halving we had of 2020, we moved sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th month we finally broke out. So 5 months twice, 1 month once. Being that April was our first or was the halving month that we had, 1 month would be this month. So I wouldn't expect that we're breaking out now this month. I would not expect that we are going to see new all-time highs this month. At the earliest, it would probably be, if it were to be this month, it would be by the end of this month, but I would think earliest June. But truthfully, I'm thinking July, which would be 3 months out from the halving month, or August, or September. September being 5 months coinciding with this other bit here. But I think within that range, perhaps it's not 5 months, perhaps it's not quite 1 month, perhaps it's something in between. So I think July, August, September, all months to consider. If not, it could be longer. It's also possible that it could be longer until we start. Again, this is all talking about how long it'll take for us to start seeing higher prices, not to find the low. I do expect that we will find the low this month of May. We could find it in the next 2 weeks, arguably, potentially 2 days. Like, who knows? It's coming any day now. But just because we found the low does not mean that we're going higher, right? That doesn't mean that we're ready to go up just yet. For example, here we had a pretty solid bounce. We found the low, but we were being pretty boring for a few months with a slight inclination to the upside, but pretty boring for a few months. Then we broke out, right? Found our low here, and we were boring for 1, 2, 3 months. On the 4th month, we broke out, right? Slight moving up, but still boring. Found our low here, boring for a long time. Even after this low, we were still boring for a month and then broke out. Found our low here, boring for a month, moving up. Really, we didn't break out to this month over here. But anyways, you get the picture. Just because we find our low does not mean it's go time yet. Okay, so anyways, all that to say, I do expect that we will go lower soon to 57K. I do expect that we will bounce from that area. 57 to 58K, I should say. Is that the right? Oh, that's not. I'm sorry. That's the wrong one. It's this one right here. 57 to 58K, around that 382 area of this retracement here. That's where I expect us to go. I do expect us to find support there and potentially move up to 63K afterwards. It's what we do after that that will determine if we go lower or if we have found our low and we're just going to continue to consolidate for a little bit. But we'll see, Yeah, well, time will tell. And this might not even be the right fib to draw. I think it is because it's the most relevant fib. But if we take this, I mean, that's a pretty discernible low right there. Maybe that 49K area is on the table. I don't think it's proper to take this whole bull cycle from the low to the current high. I don't think it's proper to do that. I mean, maybe for the 236 down there at about 51K, maybe that would make sense, but I don't know. If we go to this high here, we didn't even show respect on it there. Back here, this is more relevant because it happened relatively closer to the time frame of this low. Of course, we're going to show a little significance, but even here, we didn't even hit the 382. So I don't know if I like taking the fibs from this level. If that makes any sense. If anyone's wondering why I haven't done that. Weekly RSI looking fine. It just looks like it's taking a break. You've got lower lows in your RSI while maintaining higher lows. That means hidden bullish divergence. You're probably going to go up inevitably. The daily RSI looks terrible. Looks like you want to go lower. And we are sitting right at about $60,200. If we close here or lower for the day, I would expect that we pursue that price down to about 57, 58K rather immediately. So could happen this week. If not, sometime next week is my genuine thought. For that price target. If not, I mean, it could happen later, but I'm assuming this week or next week is going to be when it happens. 4 hour also looks bad, so I don't know. It is possible today could reverse and we could get a big green day. That does seem to happen around these areas, but once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, you can only do it so much, right? And if you look actually each time, right, we bounced in this area once, great. Bounced in this area again, pretty good, right? Bounced in this area again, not that good. And this one was a little bit better, but still not that good. Like it's flopping. It's taking less time to see these bounces, right? We're closer now with all 3 of these than we've been with either of these 2 or this one even here, right? I think this line is becoming less significant. I think we're showing the signs that we're ready to break out of this area of consolidation. Call this pattern whatever you want. I think we're showing signs that we're ready to break out of it, and that'll probably happen in the form of a move down or up with higher volume, higher than average volume, higher volume levels than we've seen since the middle of April. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys. If you like the video, hit that like button. I know I got a little sidetracked there, but essentially all this is saying is that I do expect that we will find our low soon. I think that we're going to go anywhere from like potentially as low as 49K, but more probably around that 57K area is what I'm thinking. Could be 51K, you know, anywhere in between there. And then after we found our low, while that can seem exciting, it might seem like it's go time. I'd encourage everybody to take a pause, take a break. We're in a different phase now than we've been in the rest of the cycle, right? Like so far, we've gone up, we consolidated for a little bit, we've gone up. We have consolidated for a bit, but instead of going up, it looks like we're potentially going to go down, and we're going to be in a longer phase of consolidation. Maybe not quite as long as this was, but longer than this previous consolidation phase was. And that's normal. That's normal for this around the halving, post-halving. We consolidate. So just because we don't move up from here does not mean the bull market's over. It's put on pause. This is a very normal time to be put on pause. So take it as a blessing, get your money in order, figure out what cryptos you want to buy and load up on, and just be patient, man. Be very patient. It's going to be boring. It's going to be, there might be moments of despair. Every pump's going to get sold into, every dump will get bought into. It's going to play head tricks with you, you know, mind games. So just be patient, have conviction in your purchases that you make over the next like month to 3 months, and just be patient, really be patient, because this is one of the best times in the cycle right now, guys. We're post-halving. People are hitting me up all over the place saying that they think the cycle's over. And that's exactly, man, what the whales want you to think. Any of the whales out there, they want you to think the cycle's over so that they can buy your coins from you at these cheaper prices. That's what they want. And these are cheap prices, believe it or not. Even if we drop down to 49K from here, 60K is still a cheap Bitcoin for the remainder of this cycle. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. 57K awaits us, 58K awaits us, and we'll see where we go from there. Take care. Bye-bye.